Hey everybody, Captain Algebra here, and it's been about a year since my last Genesis Collection update. So I figured with Mo Game gone just about a month away, I should probably get an update so you guys know exactly how many games I currently have for the Sega Genesis. So the last one I made was right after Mo Game Con, last July, and since then I picked up 15 new Genesis games, and that's not including the couple that came in Video Games Monthly the last couple months. So we're gonna get started. First one we've got is Crystal's Ponytail. So I got this from the boxing manual from Video Games Monthly, but didn't have the game. So then Bargain Bin Hobo did send me the game, so now I've got it complete. This is one of those Sega Club games. It is obviously for kids. Basically, a crabby witch casts a spell, and Crystal, the pony's friends, are prisoners. So you have to go around and save them through different areas. It's does have multiple difficulty levels, so maybe the adult level is going to be much harder than the children's one, but so far it's been pretty easy, but needed it for the collection. The next pile came from, since I didn't go to Midwest Gaming Classic, the weekend after I did go game hunting around Wisconsin, so these came from, I believe, Press Start and Game Trade. And so we're going to go through those quickly. First one we got is King Salmon, the Big Catch. You'll notice there's no gameplay footage for this because I've still not figured out how to catch a fish in this. I've only really spent 5 minutes playing it, but we got it. Maybe Back in the Day Gamer can help because I know he loves his fishing games. Next, we've got Cosmic Spacehead. So this is one of those games from Codemasters, and this is a puzzle, but also a platformer. So basically you got two sections to every stage. You've got like the puzzle adventure section, so you have to click around and talk to people and use different items and trying to puzzle your way through. But then there's also these platforming areas on the ends of these levels that you can collect coins with. So far those are pretty easy. You can't attack enemies, all you can do is jump over and stuff. It's a strange game. But one thing that is nice is because the adventure part is kind of point and click, you can actually press the B button to cycle through instead of having to mouse over which action you want to take, which is a nice touch. The next one we got is Air Diver. This game looks awesome, but it doesn't play awesome. So basically, you are in, God, I don't remember. You're in some airplane. Is it, what is that? Oh, F-119, there you go, the F-119 stealth fighter. And the cockpit looks awesome. The problem is, it takes up so much of your view, you can barely see anything. You've got regular machine guns, which I have a really hard time hitting enemies with, but then you also do have lock-on missiles, which are the most effective. There's a bunch of different missions you can do. You can do like loop-de-loops and other moves to kind of avoid getting hit. And you can also use a speed boost, but it uses up more fuel. So it looks super cool. Unfortunately, so far, the game is not that fun. Then we've got Mickey's Ultimate Challenge. So in this game, you play as Mickey Mouse, and you need to go or do basically like 5 of these puzzle types to get an item. Then you have to bring this item to the correct person who will give you a magical bean. And once you get all 5 magical beans, you can grow the magic beanstalk and figure out what has been going on in this world. So far, again, this has multiple difficulty levels. I played on challenging and it still wasn't very challenging. I think I did the book one where you have to figure out what the magic word is just by jumping on the books that have letters. And then the Donald Duck one where he shrinks you down and you have to feed him potions through the portal so he can make you bigger again. Again, not difficult at all. It's just basically a sliding puzzle. But yeah, it's basically, so it says the skill levels on the back. Cake level is K through 3, medium level is 4 to 9, and then challenging is adults. Well, challenging was not so challenging so far. Then we've got Zany Golf. So this one I was worried wasn't going to work. So I grabbed it, but I could not get it to work when I was testing it. And so I looked it up, as I know some of these old EA games had issues. And sure enough, this game won't play without help on certain consoles. So I do not have the first gen. I've got a Gen 1 console, but it's not the first one ever released. And so it said that you could use a Game Genie to bypass it. And I tried that, it still didn't work. I'm like, well, I'm just going to put it down. I do want to get like a first generation Genesis at some point. So anyways, I open it up, I clean it, because I got a complete box Genesis. Then I found out that's the same serial number as mine is, so it wouldn't have mattered. And I put it back together, and all of a sudden I was getting it to work. So what I think happened was, when they cleaned this game, they probably opened it up and put it back together, and they put in the what's it called? The circuit board backwards, and that's why I wouldn't play. Now it works, no problem. But it's a golf game. I guess it was originally a PC game. There's nothing special about it, but it's cool to have in the collection. And then finally, the last Genesis game I got from that trip is Outrunners. So this is an arcade game that was put on the Genesis, and it's very similar to Outrun and Outrun 2019 maybe. So basically you race through these checkpoints, and you can split at certain points, so there's a bunch of replayability. What's also cool about this is there is an original mode that is specifically for this game for one player. I've not played that yet, but basically what I heard was you basically race another car head to head. I think that's what it said in the manual. But yeah, it's pretty fun so far. I think I like Outrun more, but it's cool to have in the collection. All right, next up. So recently I was up at my, well, let's show you the game, then I'll explain the story. We've got Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops. So we were just up north visiting my family because my middle nephew graduated, and my kids stayed for the week up at my parents' house. So on the way home, Rachel and I stopped to get gas and stuff, and there's a game store in Stevens Point. So I'm like, oh, I'll just see what I can find. And they at least had one Genesis game I needed, and that was this one. So it's a basketball game. It's got a weird viewpoint because it's straight on instead of like angled or from the side. Haven't really figured out how to play defense yet, but it's got all of Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby quotes and stuff, diaper dandies and all that stuff. If you guys ever watched college basketball back in the day, you know Dick Vitale. All right, next up, we're gonna go all the stuff I got from other people. So first, these are from Bargain Bin Hobo. So he asked, what would it take for me to play my least favorite Zelda game on stream? I said, well, buy me a Genesis game. Nothing, not like a $5 sports game, but like at least a $30 Genesis game, then I would. And so he sent me these 3 games. So first of all, we've got Universal Soldier. So this is basically a Turkin clone. It's a run and gun. You can get a bunch of different types of weapons. You also have this like laser whip you can use when you hold the A button. It can help you kill enemies and find secrets and stuff. It's definitely a poor man's Turrican, but you can definitely tell that they got ideas from that game. But it's pretty fun so far. It's based on the movie, obviously. I've never seen the movie, so I don't know if it's any good. I don't know if it follows the movie, but yeah, cool to have that one. Next game he sent me was Chuck Rock. So this is a pretty cool platformer. You play as a caveman, Chuck Rock. And basically you go around and killing these dinosaurs and eating food and platforming your way. It's pretty funny. You attack enemies with your belly, which is hilarious. You can also throw rocks on them and stuff like that. I have played the Super Nintendo version. Played it a few years ago. Threw it in one night. Played all the way through it and beat it. It's not a particularly hard game. If I remember correctly, it might have unlimited continues. I can't remember for sure, but it's a pretty decent game. Then the last game that Hobo sent me was Bob. This is a pretty cool game as well. So basically, you're this alien who takes his car and totals it, and needs to go around and find stuff to fix it. It's a platformer, but it's also you got weapons you can use. You can find more ammo. You can find different types of weapons. You platform your way through the stages. Make sure you don't take hits and stuff. There's also, I think they're called Renos. I really don't, they're like gadgets, I guess. I haven't really used them yet, so I don't know what they do. But I grabbed this for Super Nintendo, God, probably 6-7 years ago, and I played a little bit and really liked it, so I couldn't wait to get the Genesis version. So now I have that. It'll be fun to play through at some point. But yeah, it's a pretty cool game. And then the last 4 that I got were just recently. So Mega Matt recently got a big lot of games, and he reached out to me and be like, hey, these are the Genesis games I got. Do you need any of them? And so they were a handful that I needed, and we worked out a price, and I got them. They're all in pretty good condition, or actually very good condition, except for one of them, and we'll talk about that. But first, let's go ahead and talk about Technoclash. So this is a pretty cool game. It's almost like an action-adventure type. So you're this wizard that's going around trying to defeat the Robot Lord. You've got a bunch of different weapons you can use. You can switch on them on the fly. It kind of brings up this pad up on your screen, and there's 9 different weapons you can use. Obviously, they all have different amounts of ammo. You can pick more ammo up as you go. But I was really impressed with this when I first plugged it in. It's not a game I had heard about. I'd seen it before, but I'd never played it, and I was really impressed when I tested it out and played it a little bit. So that one should be a fun one to play. Next, so we spoke about Turkin before. We've got Mega Turkin. So this is a run and gun. Like I said, just like Universal Soldier, you've got your base weapon, but you can find other weapons, a bunch of different types of weapons. You can also upgrade your weapon. And in this one, I believe, you have this almost like, it's not a bionic arm. It's like kind of a whip that you can grab onto stuff and swing from, that you have to get through certain areas. One thing about the Turkin series is the music is phenomenal. I knew that Turkin had good music because back when I did the Genesis soundtracks, Paul Mega Retroman Tessie talked about one of the Turkin soundtracks. Or no, maybe that was Super Nintendo. That might have been Super Nintendo. But anyways, put this in, I was testing out, I'm like, God, this music's fantastic. Super good. So yeah, I now have Turkin and Mega Turkin on the Genesis, so looking forward to playing that. Then we have Valis. So this completes my Valis subset on the Genesis. I've got Valis 3, Sida Valis. I think those are the only 3 that are on the Genesis. This is the one that's a little beat up. There's kind of like a scratch in the back, which doesn't matter. And then the manual is missing a couple pages, but otherwise the game is in fantastic condition. This is an action platformer. You go around as this woman, and you can use your sword to attack enemies. You can get upgrades for your sword, and it's pretty fun. This one seems a little bit slower than the other games that I've played in the series, but I'm really excited to actually get through this series now that I have the whole set on the Genesis, because they always seemed like really fun games. And last but not least, I got Sagaya. So this is a really cool shooter that I've been wanting for a long time. Every time I find it, it's extremely expensive, and then also it usually doesn't have the manual or doesn't have the box, because I think there's a local store that has had it before and it's never complete. But yeah, it's a fun shooter. Really reminds me of what is it? Thunder Force series that is also on the Genesis. I mean, it's your basic shooter. You got different weapons you can choose. Action is fast paced. You got to fight big bosses towards the end of each zone, and it's fun. It's a really cool shooting game. So really pumped to have that in the collection. So there you go. Those are the 15 Genesis games I picked up since last July, which puts my grand total to 521 Genesis games. So pretty cool. We are making good progress. That puts me in the probably about 190 more to go. I have a list, but I don't know exactly how much is on there. And remember, this does not include Outback Joey. I'm not going to get Outback Joey. That game is ridiculously expensive. It's kind of like if I was going for the NES set, I probably wouldn't get Stadium Events because that is just way too much money to spend on one game. And I'm already spending enough on this stuff. Super pumped for a lot of these games. Some of them were disappointing, obviously, but some seem like it could be a lot of fun, and I look forward to streaming them as we go through my Genesis A to Z. But yeah, let me know what's your favorite on here, if you played any of them. But super pumped to add some more, and then, like I said, in about a month, actually, I think exactly a month, I'm recording this on June 26th. July 26th is Mo Game Console. Hopefully be adding some more Genesis games then, and I will obviously do an update video then. Thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time, this is Captain Algebra, signing off.